Hello everyone and welcome back to another speedrunning video. In today's video we got my 6th ever sub 15, which is pretty cool. It's a 14:35, starting to pump sub 15s a little bit out, eh? It's not too bad, But yeah, this run, I mean, it's pretty average. It's a 14:35, there's nothing too special about it, pretty average, pretty middle of the road, sub 15 as far as it goes in terms of seed, in terms of run. It was played out not too bad. There was a couple points where I watched back and I was like, slightly poor decision making that lost me a few seconds there, but I don't think there was like any time losses that could have made this a PB, if that makes any sense. I think this run's, yeah, pretty solid overall, pretty decent. As I said, it's just super like aggressively average, if that makes sense. Other than the lack of wood I have to get to start here, because all those trees to the left were like quite far away to go for. I was like, alright, I'll just go back for this one tree and I'll get wood at the shipwreck. Spoiler alert, I completely forgot to get wood at the shipwreck. So yeah, luckily I don't get punished for it, but being a backloading Barry dude, it stings. It stings. It is not who I am, I promise. So right here, I was praying that was an entrance, it wasn't. And right here, I was like judging in my head the distance it took me to get, like the time it took me to get to the shipwreck, and the time I think it would be worth to go all the way back and then go down in that ravine. I decided it'd be a better idea to dig down, and thank God I did, because it's quite a convenient spot. And yeah, the chest is pretty average. 3 bread. I mean, yeah, not enough for the rest of the run. 18 iron though. Oh, juicy. Juicy. I mean, anyone who's watched these before knows that I like to just do these commentaries, because you can choose to mute it if you want to, and you want to just watch the run, that's perfectly fine. But I like having this added because I personally like it myself, and I know a few people that do watch like these videos like do like it, so that's why I do it. But this run is hard to talk about too much. As per usual, I've been going for sub 13 still. I'm in between like a move at the moment, but yeah. I'm still like playing, like, but I'm not on like my proper normal setup to stream or anything, so I'm just playing like offline. Still going for sub 13s, but I'll happily finish out runs at a sub 15 pace, which this run pretty much was sub 15 pace leaving the Bastion. Like, I would have had to have gotten a ridiculous endgame to have had it to be like reasonably sub 13, you know. But I find it fun finishing out sub 15 runs, to be honest. I like collecting sub 15s. If you'd say that. I think it's just as much of a show as skill as a really good PB, personally. In fact, I almost arguably it shows more skill. Like, if someone only has one sub 15 and it's like a low 12 or something, I think the person that has like 5 or more sub 15s, or even like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you know, like around that area plus, I think that shows more skill than the person that got that one really lucky seed, but hasn't been able to, you know, even get another run that's sub 15able. I don't know, it's what I think. Obviously, there's a million different factors. Like, I couldn't get a seed for a very long time. Shortly after my 1410 PB, I got like a couple sub 15s, but then went dry for a while. So yeah, it's completely subjective to each runner. But I think multiple sub 15s is just on par with super fast paced runs. Like super fast runs, like sub 12, sub 11s. Well, there's only one sub 11, that's the world record, so never mind. But yeah. Although I would argue people that have like multiple of like a certain, like a fast run, like for example Sizzler has multiple sub 12s. Yeah, alright, cool. And then FE has his sub 12 and he has his like a sub 13. I think 7 Route also has it. Like, players like that, like, you know they're sick, and you know they've like played loads and stuff and like been going for these seeds and that. Like, you know, those guys are like, FE at the time seemed like he was just a guy that got a lucky seed, but he's proven to be an amazing player, as like a lot of people watch the stream for it. But yeah, me over here, I'm spanning between the 13:49, like I'm within like almost a minute of like similar times. I just can't get like the fat improvement that I need. Hopefully we'll get it at some point, but my point is I'll take multiple sub 50 if I'm not PBing. You know, if I'm not getting a really sick PB like a sub 13 or better, I'm happy taking multiple sub 15s. This is okay with me. And this Hoglin right here, The pork RNG, should we say it, from this hoglin kind of carries this whole run, to be honest. It just makes it so much easier. Getting 4 pork from a hoglin, it's just a sigh of relief when you've not got a lot of food. You're like, oh, that's just made it so much easier. Oh, and this was sketchy as well. I was going to go for the run down the stairs, but I saw the sword guy. I knew I was like 1 or 2 hits, so I couldn't just run straight through him. Open the chest. Oh, I only got obsidian. You know what? I should have thrown that gilded blackstone on the floor. I'm quite lucky I didn't get hit from behind. And then there's piglins up the stairs. So I'm like, oh crap, I've just got to run in here and hope I get gold armor out of the chest. But to be honest, I actually should have thrown that gilded blackstone on the floor. There's just as good of a chance I could have gotten absolutely smashed in from behind then. So, you know, I'm quite lucky for that. That was a little bit of a misplay that I didn't even realise till watching it back. If that was normal gold, I think I would have thrown it on the floor. When it's blackstone, sometimes my brain doesn't register that it's there. If that makes any sense. So I see there's 2 zombie piglins here, pigmen there, and I was like, is there any way I can get them away? And I was like, nah, not in like a reasonably fast way. So I was like, I just got to go and hope I get a decent amount of piglins. But right at this point, I was convinced I was going to get screwed here. And the pace already sucks as well. Like, this pace is already like sub 13 pace is kind of already out the window, if I'm honest. Already out the window. But I had a mob spawner and I knew it was kind of close-ish to my portal, so I was like, may as well play it out. Might be able to get sick blaze luck, you know. Might get ocean exposed, all that stuff. It's worth playing these out, especially like to get like an extra sub 15 or 2. It's just fun to play for it. Oh, yeah, must have heard that guy tearing down. But I must say, right, I could complain about Bastion trades because I've lost a lot of runs to it, but oh my god, is this a lucky trade considering the amount of piglins I had. This is incredibly lucky. Look at that amount of pearls. I've almost got the perfect amount of obsidian, the amount of string I had, and I had a fire res. I was like, wait, is that real? That is some of the luckiest trading I've personally ever had. That was insanely lucky. Insanely lucky. I should have been waiting much more longer there. Much more longer. Also, that back window I could have pearled out of. I watched this back just before doing this voice recording, and the fact that I didn't pearl out of there, oh my god. So I think I was there at like 45, right? Let's see when I actually get over to this island. So when I start building here as well, this is one of the time I was talking about. I don't know why I did this. I would argue I wasted like a full 20 seconds there, like actually a full 20 seconds. So is there another time loss in this? Because I'd say there's that. I overgrabbed blocks of netherrack to get over there, but I do use the blocks, so I mean it's not a crazy time loss. It's probably like I honestly played perfectly. This probably could have been a sub 14, I think. Yeah. And this pearl was just annoyingly bad. Like I just knew it was going into lava. Like, you know, when it's just been a certain amount of time. I think I also should have just like pearled onto the soul sand here instead of slowly crawled. I don't know, or I should have found somewhere to pearl, because that was just slow. That was just slow. The thing is, it's so easy for me to like say now because I'm like thinking about these things in the moment as well. Like, I'm like self-criticizing as I'm playing. I decided not to pearl like right there because I don't know. I just didn't. I just felt like I was like, oh, just build up quickly pearl onto the top like that. I think it'd be faster than pearling on, hitting it. And sometimes you get a little glitched out, and sometimes it just pushes you too far out, and then you can't place a block, and I just die. So yeah, the pace right now is pretty bad, and I'm in the fortress at 8:15, and I'm not even in the good part yet. I'm finally in the good part, but I'm not even at the blaze spawner. So this is terrible pace. This is just a bad pace. I'm basically just hoping for good rod rates and good blind. Well, what you're always hoping for, but you got to really hope for it in situations like this. And we have one blaze spawn, and if you remember that I forgot to get my wood, so I'm not able to blaze bed here. So if I got my wood at the shipwreck, probably would have been a nice time save right here. Instead I had to go pick this out, which just takes way longer than blaze bedding. Like a significant amount of time longer. And as well, not front loading my wood. If I blinded right now, well, when I blinded, when I blind, I could be in the middle of an ocean, and it could be like a stronghold super close, and it's just little old me that decided not to, you know, front load my wood. I also completely forgot that I didn't front load my wood because I'm so used to doing it, so I didn't grab any of the crimson logs either. I basically just realised it when I got here. So yeah, this is why I get for not front loading my wood, because I'm so used to doing it. And it just leads to dumb possible mistakes like this. Because if I spawned in the middle of an ocean and the stronghold was close and there were no trees by, well, I'd have to go farm the library, which would just take so long. And yeah, it would just be such a misplay. That's why I always front load. And that's why I always get like loads of logs as well. Because like in case you have like say a full soul sand nether where you don't get any trees or anything, and then you go into like, or you pull a Prentilda and you go straight into the stronghold, or you know, you just get an ocean exposed stronghold near you. Yeah, stuff like that. It's like if you didn't front load, then you'd be screwed. Like you'd actually like not be able to finish the run. Quite a few really good runners as well. Like I know, like I think Dylan definitely doesn't front load, and I think Feinberg's the same. I believe Feinberg doesn't front load. Two very good runners, but if they got given the same seed as the Brentilda, if they got the Brentilda seed, they wouldn't have gotten the world record because they wouldn't have front loaded. So they wouldn't have actually been able to like kill the dragon at the end, which I find really funny. And the fact that like Brentilda's run showed that you should 100% front load every single time, unless it's like in this situation, other than I should have gotten it at the shipwreck. So technically, you know, there's not much forgiven. But like front load unless it's like extremely massive time loss to do so. So I do my thing right here, and I see that I'm roughly about 500 blocks out. About 500 blocks away, because the first one was 106.2 and the second one was 108.1, but I didn't do it perfectly, so there's a good chance that point one was off. So I was like, all right, 500 blocks. I was like, I'm going off 500 blocks. So I want to be at about negative 850 to negative 830, roughly. That's where I want to be. When I throw my next die. So yeah, just get another pig here, because, you know, we ran out of food. Well, we had like 1 pork left, and I get 3 pork off the pig. So honestly, my pork RNG is actually outrageous. Actually, thinking about it now, I got the max pork off a hoglin and the max pork off a pig. Like, you know, killing an extra animal would have been like a good like 10-second time loss probably. If I had to like run over to the pig and kill it and stuff like that. So pork RNG was probably contributed to making this a 1435, but you know, the time's not very good anyway. But this triangulation, however, I am extremely proud of. It's close to perfect. Close. I knew I was a little bit off angle here. I knew I wanted to be a little bit more to the left as well. I almost wish I ran to the left. Because, yeah, this is what you want to see. Oh, that snap. That snap, dude. That's what you want to see in a speedrun. Honestly, if I ran a little bit to the left like I wanted to in my head, I could have had it go straight down, which would have been the coolest thing. And I ran way too far here. Like, this is... I did perfect triangulation, and then I just did this stupid shit. I knew it was this chunk here to the right. I throw that pussy pearl for some unknown reason. Dumb as hell. So this was a dumb time loss, because I pretty much knew it was this chunk since before, like, even that other eye throw that pointed at it. So, yeah, it's really dumb of me, but hey. I never want to just completely mess up an 8-8. I don't want to just miss. And honestly, I think in total I threw like 5 eyes, so not getting any eye breaks is extremely lucky. Extremely lucky. Right here, should have turned back right here. And then I realised that, I was like, no, I realised it here. I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I'm like freaking a trillion rooms deep and every room's dark. Am I brain dead? Which I kind of am. So yeah, that was like a dumb time loss. So that plus the Bastion time loss, this probably could have equaled a sub 14 if played perfectly, which it wasn't, which is kind of cringe. Run up here, see that, and I didn't even see this bit to the right, and I was like, sweet, right's definitely less busy. I'm swinging left here as well. Boom. So much room over here. So yeah, this stronghold routing, other than going way too deep mid, was relatively decent. That was sketchy as hell. So from where I was, you couldn't see it because there was like another mound in front of this, but almost died right there. Almost died right there. See, I see the dragons this side. I'm like, alright, cool. Set this up here. I was like, there's no way this is PB, but this is hopefully a sub 15 if I get a reasonably decent perch. Which I seem to get. To be honest, I've always gotten decent perches other than in my PB. Oh, I tapped out right here as well by accident. But yeah, honestly, in pretty much every other run of mine, I think every other sub 15 of mine, I pretty much get a relatively decent perch. It's just in my PB when I got the disgusting enter time, I didn't get a decent perch. And then the turn right here, I should have pearled right here. I knew it was perching. I should have pre-pearled that. That's dumb of me not to. No, it really matters, and then it's just the one cycle. pretty standard 4-bed. I had the 5th there ready for the 4+1. I was like, oh, there's a 4-bed. Oh, that's kind of cool. But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Pretty standard, as I said. There's nothing crazy special about this run. The triangulation was kind of cool with that snap. And that was pretty much it. The rest of the run was kind of boring. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. And hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.